Tony, I was wondering if you made a determination on quarterback yet. Two, is it feasible that Aiden can play given that he's missed so many games? And three, if Daniel Jones clears waivers as expected, is he somebody that you guys would be interested in?
Yeah, one, Gardner Mitchell will be out for the season. Two, we'll see if Aiden is good to go. He's been ramping up. And then three, any free agents, anybody be claimed, that's the third floor. So Telesco and that group is on the head of it, and obviously we'll see where that happens by the end of the day.
What would go in for Aiden? What would you need to see this week to show that he'd be ready on a short week to practice ready?
Well, these guys are getting in the building late today. We'll have rehab and all that stuff, so it'll be a late day for us. Really won't be able to practice this week. Be walkthroughs for the most part. So just seeing him, able to grip the ball, comfortable, hopefully no pain there, and just being able to be efficient. To put a player out there that's, hurting or injured still, that's not in the benefit of the player or our team.
How important is it, AP, when you're talking to an Aiden or any player, understanding they want to play, so you're trying to get truth out of them on how do you really feel?
Yeah, that's tough because the good thing, that's a good problem we have right now because we got a lot of players that want to play through injuries and pain. But I think obviously at the quarterback position, you got to be smart. I think with Aiden, his future is much brighter. Looking ahead, young player there. We just got to be smart. So I think the good thing, we have a good relationship, Aiden and myself. He speaks honest to me. I speak honest to him. So I'm sure that conversation will go far. And then we'll just have to see. And I have to really rely on our doctors and medical staff.
You mentioned with the short week and the not really a full practice schedule available this week. How much more complicated does that make your decision to not be able to have him going through full practices before he would play?
Well, it kind of reminds me of what happened to us last year. Played Minnesota, had a scoreless game, 0-3, and we had a short week going to the Chargers. And there was some conversation about the quarterback position at that time internally. We stuck with Aiden, and we had a short week of practice. Didn't have any reps as well. Just kind of walked through. Didn't really throw the ball that far down the field. I just watched that upstairs. So it's kind of similar in that sense. So the good part is I know Aiden. I understand. I think we all know what it looks like when he's feeling right and if that hand is correct and able for him to perform at a level to help us win a game.
Just to clarify, you haven't made a decision yet. That will come later on in the week after watching.
Yeah, I just need to get some more information from the medical staff. These guys are just rolling into the building 9, 10 o'clock. They got 2 treatments before I even see them. So I have not made a decision. Yes.
It was short sample size for Desmond, but what did he show you yesterday that would give you some confidence that he could play?
Just like the rest of our team, fighting, want to be out there. When I went up to him right before he went out there, late in that 3-minute mark of the game, he's like, I got it, I'm good. So the confidence there. He's a guy that's a competitor, wants to compete. Obviously he was dealt a difficult hand. You just get thrown into the fire with no reps. But he did move the ball down the field. And, even at the end of the game, even though it didn't go our way at the end, the ball's at the 1-yard line, right? Gave us a chance to, maybe score, go to onside kick, and you never know what happens in this league.
Do you feel like the team's getting better the last few weeks? What's been your sense of that?
I see a lot of young players playing, like what I saw from the running backs, like what I saw from Sincere, Abdullah. I thought they did a really good job. I see Big Mike coming along well, offensive line, really good, much better job in the running game, much better. Can't really sit there and just really hype it up, but hat for a hat, we're running downhill, we're physical, just don't have the opportunities that we want. 16 is not the number we want to hit in the running game. Defensively, D-Cam, he'll learn from yesterday. First start and opportunities there. And, Isaiah, there's a lot of young players. Tyree Wilson the last couple of weeks. So, listen, there's not a lot of positives at 2-9, but you do see a lot of players, playing their asses off and playing hard and fighting to the very end. So that is a positive for our team.
Has Sincere earned more reps by what you saw?
Yeah, he'll get more reps this week.
One of the things you loved about JPJ in the draft was his aggressiveness. But how do you teach a young player that you love for that about how to temper it?
Yeah, he had 2 plays yesterday. One he got called for, one he didn't, and both were very physical, borderline plays, and that's just something we got to understand the temperament. I always look at him. He gives me a thumbs up. He lied to me on that one. He said it was on the other player. So we got to talk about that one. But listen, I'm never going to take the aggressiveness away from our players. But being smart, I will. We'll learn from that. We don't want to get backed up. We don't have those 15-yard penalties. But he's fighting, right? We got a guy on the ground. He's fighting for every yard, and he wants to finish off a player, and we're going to finish. But we got to play within the rules of the game, and he'll learn that, and we'll talk about that today. But I am not slowing him down. I'm going to speed him up if anything else, legally.
Just to clarify, Gardner has a broken collarbone, right?
Yes, sir.
What did the Broncos do yesterday regarding the defensive powers?
Oh, everything. They put their best player on him, Patrick Surtain, so that was one. We still target Brock, I believe, 10 times or so in the game, but obviously the completions weren't where we wanted him to be. I think he had only 4 receptions, but I thought they did a good job mixing it up. Obviously, they put their best player on him. There was a lot of eyes on Brock. They were trying to bang him up, and that's going to happen. But that did open up the doors for Jacoby. I thought Jacoby had a big day. I thought you saw a breakout game with Trey Tucker, run after catch, just finding ways to get him the football. So that's going to come up, obviously, as we have one of the better players in the league at the tight end position. Teams are going to find ways to take him away. And that creates other opportunities for other players. And our quarterbacks have to throw it to the open players, and those guys have to make those plays.
Crosby's been nominated for the Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award once again. Just when you think about all the players on your roster and what that award represents, why do you think he's most deserving of being nominated or winning?
Yeah, I think Max does everything right, man. He's a professional. He's a pros. First one to build and last one to leave. Great teammate, hard worker, takes no plays off. Everything he does is intentional, and it's with the pride of the Raiders, the Raider way. He wants to go down as an ultimate Raider, and he's doing that now as a teammate. And again, all the honors that he has coming his way is well deserved.
You mentioned that Tyree was kind of a case of a guy that needed time on task, just reps and playing. Do you start seeing things slowing down for him, and in a way that slowing down speeds him up?
I think so. One, what it was talked about last year, right? Him getting off the rock. Well, we haven't talked about that as much anymore. That's gone away. I think the second thing now is his eyes, the transition, right? Because there's so much movement, the flash, these tight ends, jet sweeps, all these motions that he's getting every play. It kind of slows you down. I thought there was really 2 good examples yesterday where he got that same action that last year he looked lost and he had a play. One was almost for a TFL and the other one was a tackle. So you can see the improvement with his eyes, looking ahead, getting ahead of the game, understanding how teams are playing and what the concepts that they're running. And then applying that to what we're doing conceptually. So just each and every week he's made a play or two. And sometimes the stat sheet, you want to always have that verification, but there's been so much he's done in the run game and in the passing game, using his length, using his power. Again, I think he's one of those players that's trending up for us. And obviously as the season goes on, these last 6 games, the more and more we can give him reps, the better we'll be in the future.
He also executed a stunt play, where that's another part of the game that people may overlook a little bit. But is that also a sign of him kind of coming around?
Yeah, just the execution. Again, you talking about the play he had a sack on, correct? Just a little tackle, working a little stunt game there in the passing game, and really good timing by Adam Butler, him wrapping around. But more importantly, how many times have you seen Tyree kind of free by the quarterback finish, right? And we saw him get the quarterback down. Really good job there. So I think just everything we're doing with him, because he's playing D-end, he played a little bit of Sam. We moved him inside on 3rd downs. Now he's playing D-tackle. A lot goes into that from a learning, technical standpoint, and he is improving in that.
How long were you guys sitting on that fake punt play?
Weeks. We've had it for weeks now. It's just sometimes you just got to call it, man. And we've been close a couple games, and then just the game flow. I felt like we did have control of the game, both offense and defense, because we were moving the ball. Felt good about it, and after we saw what they did the first time versus our punt team, it was a no-brainer that we were going to call it the next time up.
You had faith in Diablo, obviously, to make that play.
Yeah. Listen, we worked on a lot of ball drills, and I was a linebacker coach with him, so that was good to see. More importantly, I was proud of A.J. Cole. I think that was his first career pass, and when I first got here last year, we started talking about fakes and stuff like that. He was not one of the guys that was recommended to throw the ball. Just let him kick it, and there's been some throws in practice where we were questioning it. But yesterday, man, I about as good as we can execute the play from top down, to be honest. Those guys did a good job getting lined up and obviously, giving us an opportunity. Let's talk about our special teams, right? Really good job by Dylan, right? We got 10 points from our special teams. We got that big return, got the ball at the 40-yard line. That was a touchdown. Then we get the fake punt by Diablo. That gave us another field goal. So yesterday, man, we obviously saw we threw the kitchen sink at them, and we're going to continue to do that throughout. We're going to fight for every game and keep trying to win.
There was a lot of good on Dylan's kickoff return, but specifically from his perspective, when you went back and watched it on film, what did you like about what he did?
Love how he hit the hole. I mean, there was guns blazing, right? He was smoke. He was about all that smoke. Because most time on those plays, you can see either you're going to hit it full speed or you're going to get blasted, right? And he wasn't flinching, he didn't blink. I just wish he had one more little cut in him to take it back across the grain. But what I was most excited about was the way the team responded. I mean, to see all those guys chase him in the end zone, yeah, I get it was a 50-yard return. But that was his first time touching the ball since the last time he fumbled. And to me, that was very encouraging to see the players respond that way and the way he responded on his first carry since then.
Rob Ryan's been on the sideline the last couple of games. How much juice does he kind of bring with his energy?
A lot of juice. Sometimes we got to tell him to turn the mic up. But no, we try and do different things, man. Every week has been something new just to keep, guys going engaged, coaches moving them around in different spots. And Rob brought it to my attention that he thought he could be more helpful on the sideline because he does a hell of a job throughout the week really getting after the players. And he has a unique way of talking to the players, and they respond. And having them there, and it's not just to the defense. He's up and down the whole sideline. So very encouraging. Obviously, age doesn't matter with him because he uses every adjective in the book to get guys going, and they respond very well to him. And it's been a very good presence by him on the sideline, and that will continue.
You talked about the importance of having consistency in personnel and offensive line. With that group these past couple weeks, where have you seen the most growth?
Communication, attention to details, assignments. You don't see a lot of free runners. We've done a better job of that, getting a hat on a hat. I thought yesterday was probably the best job we did in a limited rep count of really, having gap scheme, inside zone, and getting to the second level, running backs being decisive, going downhill, finishing our blocks, straining. I think Joe's done an outstanding job the last 2 weeks, and I will say outstanding because of where we were at. You don't see the mistakes that we were having prior, and credit not just to the coaches but to the players of buying in.
It's kind of a paperwork question, but Aiden will be designated to return to practice.
Yes, sir.
We talked about the turnover in the lineup, and how challenging has it been as a coach to kind of get the new group going every week and them up to speed every week?
The turnover, I'm sorry.
How challenging has it been to get a new group of players up to speed every week with all the turnover in the lineup?
Oh, you're talking about the overall roster?
Yeah.
Yeah, challenging, but part of the job. Like I said, from day one when I took over, it's been challenging. It's challenging for our team right now with losing 7 straight games, but the opportunity's there. The one to desire. One thing about these guys, they love one another. They love the game. They're passionate about it. I think hopefully it shows up on film, the effort that they play with. The physicality's picked up over the last couple of weeks. I think they've done a good job of buying in. These younger guys understand that this is their opportunity, right? The last 6 weeks of the season, you don't know how this bad boy going to go in off season, right? So here's some great opportunities for you to put good film on yourself going forward, right? What does the 2025 Raiders look like? And are you a part of that, right? And there's going to be changes made as it is every year in off season for every team. And I think it's important for these guys to put their best foot forward, and really for all our players, myself included, and staff, to show that we're fighting. There's no give and no tanking, none of that BS that being said. Hell, we're trying to win every game possible. We can win 6 in a row, we'll win 6 in a row. And that's what we're going to do.
Steve, one more, Paul.
Tony, obviously you're more focused on what's going on in the building here for yourself, but when you look at the rest of the division in the AFC West, what are you kind of seeing going on in the division?
They're winning. Quarterback play, bottom line. Quarterback play. Last night, rookie quarterback, we was bringing the house at him. Very first play of the game, we came after him. At the end of the game, we was coming after him. The kid never flinched, didn't blink. You watch Patrick Mahomes there yesterday, just watching film a little bit earlier today. It's 27-27. He's running the ball, looks like he's going to go out of bounds. Steps up, goes another 20 yards. And then you look at Justin Herbert, right? You see these guys really, the quarterback play with the other 3 teams, to me, is the biggest difference.
That's good. All right.
Cool, thank you.